That down, let's get things started with this. Last night, a couple of screenings happened of the new Superman, not 30-minute stuff, like full screenings of it. Happened in a couple of places for a select few people. Now, got to point out, neither Rob nor I were at those screenings.
Nope.
Mostly like exhibitors and things like that. A few
Press.
other people,
Yeah.
limited press, got to see it. And while we did not see it, both Rob and I got to talk to some people, communicate with some people who were there and got to see it. Now, the person that Rob spoke to gave him a little bit more than what I got, but I'll tell you what I got. I got you know who writes to me a lot? Movie theater general managers. I get a lot of movie theater general managers and assistant general managers who write to me.
Well, that makes sense. We're a fan of theaters, the theatrical experience.
Yep, especially to write, say, you have no idea how right you are about the way we deal with business over here. Anyway, but I had a GM of a movie theater write to me, didn't say a lot, has written to me before and says, saw Superman. I loved it. You talking to me, you are going to be very happy. Now, this is a movie theater owner who has written, GM who's written to me before to say, yeah, this one's coming out. It's all right. This one's not bad. This one's okay. Oh, this one's not so good. I think this is the first time this guy wrote to me and said, you are going to love this. He said, I loved it. You are going to be happy. So, I mean, that's encouraging to hear. It's just one person's opinion, though. But Rob, you also spoke to somebody a little bit more in depth about it. What were the impressions you got from them about the new Superman?
The first thing he said is that it's 180 degrees opposite of what Zack Snyder was doing. And that was no shade being thrown at Zack Snyder. He was trying to establish like the tone of
They're just doing something very different.
Very, very different. And what he talked about, which is really interesting because I read this article that I sent to you too this morning, but he said it reminded him when he was younger of opening a comic book that dropped you right into the action. And it was big and brash and fun and, you know, basically Silver Age, that kind of thing. And it was, he also said that the trailers were a little bit of a misdirect because the things that happen, they happen obviously, but the way that they're set up is surprising. Like he had mentioned the kaiju scene. He goes, wait till you see how that starts. Like how that begins. He goes, it's not like what you would think. And I didn't see him. I was on the phone with him, but I could tell he had a big smile on his face when he was telling me all about this. But he said the movie was wildly entertaining. He really, really loved it. And just that it was different than he thought it was going to be, you know. And then James Gunn, and you pointed this out too in that article that was on comicbookmovie.com. I guess there was a video that played, either he spoke, James Gunn and Peter Safran spoke, or it was a video that was played before the screening.
We watched this video of somebody recorded the video of James Gunn and Peter Safran at that screening.
Yeah, they were at the screening
and doing this little introduction, and Gunn said something that really struck me. He said, like, he talks about how much he loves Superman, all that kind of stuff, and this was the hardest movie he's ever made, blah, 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 blah. But he said something really interesting in it. James Gunn said, like, and I'm paraphrasing, I might be getting some of the little bit wording wrong, but the general gist of it was this. He said, Guardians of the Galaxy was my ode to cinema. He said, Superman is my ode to comic books and my love of comic books.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool thing to say.
Yeah, I just think the tone of it is going to be really interesting. And I told you, like, on Jimmy Kimmel, you can see that clip now. Corn Sweat and Nicholas Hoult were on last night. And this is interesting. Nicholas Hoult has seen the whole movie, but David Cornsweet said, I haven't watched any of it. And he's waiting to go to the actual world premiere. Because he said, I mean, how many times do you get to have the experience of being the star of a movie and sitting in there and going, which I thought was really cool. But watching him just sit and talk, that guy's Superman. I mean, you can hear it in his voice. And then they showed that clip when Superman comes in, and I won't say maybe what happens in that clip if you haven't seen it. But when you watch,
it's out publicly. It's on YouTube.
It's everywhere.
Like they released it publicly.
Apparently, Crypto's missing. You know, and Superman's not happy. And he goes in, Eve Tessmacher's there, and he barges into Luke's.
Where's
Lex
the
is like,
dog?
but he's like ready to tear his head off. It's like, and Luther's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I mean, and to me, if that's the movie, I'm like, that's it. I want to see that movie.
I'll tell you what, I saw that clip. You're the one, you sent me the link to the clip initially. And I watched it, and it's like this whole time I'm like, oh, Nicholas Holt's going to be a great Lex Luthor, and oh, we're going to get a Lex Luthor done like really right. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm done. I'm done. Fuck Lex Luthor.
Well, then that means
fuck him in his bald fucking head.
Then that means he's great.
F that guy. Yeah, that probably means they're doing it right? But I instantly, I could feel my entire perception of this movie and of this character totally change. I'm like, F this guy in his effing cornhole and smack him till Sunday. F this guy. Like, he took crypto, and all of a sudden I totally hate this character now.
Well, everybody
Absolutely
said
hate
how
him.
great Holt is. I mean, it's been like a universal comment for people. Look, to me, as somebody who literally, if you came into my Robservatory, there are tens of thousands of pages of comic books in omnibuses and hardcovers surrounding me. And I've been a comic book fan and an avid reader since I was a kid. And I've read all different iterations of Superman. There's been all different kinds. You can go back to like Kurt Swan's Supermans. You could go back to the 60s and 50s. Or you can read like Superman Red Sun. There's so many different iterations of Superman. And this is the different, the article said in comicbookmovie.com that this is basically Superman, the animated series, the movie. With that kind, I'm like,
which I never watched. I didn't watch.
It was great.
The
It was great. I read that and I'm like, fantastic, because it's not the CW Superman, it's not the George Reeves Superman from the 50s. It's not Christopher Reeve, and it's not Bryan Singer or Zack Snyder. It's a different thing entirely, and that's what I wanted. I wanted the super science, of all this, the craziness of what I read in comic books, and hearing James Gunn say that, I'm like, great, this is the DC universe I want to see.
Yeah, man. Listen, I've said it before, but it keeps getting more true every day. I am so set up for disappointment. I am like,
yeah, me too.
My excitement level of this movie is now to the proportion where I'm going to come out clinically depressed if this movie is not any good. I'm going to be very, very disappointed.
I think if nothing else, it's going to be a grand entertainment.
I think so too. Yeah.
And I'm not looking for some existential meditation on, superheroics in the modern age, postmodern Prometheus, whatever. I want a wildly entertaining, big budget summer romp.
And engaging. I think, like we spoke at the outset, that just from what I'm seeing, I think we're just going to be engaged in every scene.
Yeah.
I think so. And
where's the dog? I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, now I'm mad. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to go see Megan later. I'm just going to be sitting there thinking about how much I hate Lex Luthor. I'm really pissed off about it. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? We're now actually starting to talk to some people who've seen the film, and so far, it's just a couple of people. Just because they like it doesn't mean you will, doesn't mean I will, but still, you'd rather hear good things coming out of it than bad things, and we're hearing some pretty damn positive stuff. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.